Welcome to Inspire Her on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first and only 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio here in Ikoyi, Lagos. This is the space where women come to learn, grow, and be inspired to live with purpose, confidence, and intention. Today's episode is one every woman needs to hear. Building wealth in your prime earning years. These are the years when our energy, creativity, and opportunities are at their peak, but also when discipline and intentionality matter the most. We'll be exploring how to make your financial prime truly count, from knowing your worth and in negotiating better to investing wisely, diversifying income streams, and building wealth that creates freedom and not just comfort. And joining me in this empowering conversation are two phenomenal women who bring both wisdom and experience to the table. First, Esther Evbodaghe, a finance professional, entrepreneur, and mentor who's passionate about helping women take charge of their money and their mindset. And Ngozi Ochuba, a pharmacist, wellness advocate, and midlife reinvention coach who believes true wealth is holistic, encompassing health, happiness, and financial independence. Together, we'll unpack how to use your most productive years to create the life and legacy you truly deserve. All right, so welcome to another episode here on Inspire Her, and today we are talking about money, building wealth, and the beautiful ladies I have in the studio here, they look like money and wealth. And they'll be teaching us how to build wealth today. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you. You both look lovely.
Thank you, and you too.
Yeah. All right, so today we're talking about building wealth in your prime years. And when I heard the topic, the first thing that came to my mind was, I make money. But what is wealth, right? What do we understand when someone says build wealth? Okay, so let's start the conversation from there so that anyone who's listening to us right now understands what it means. Because I make money, but this time around, we want to understand what it means to build wealth. So, Madam Ngozi, you look like wealth. She looks like wealth as well, but your smile, let me start the conversation with you. What does it mean to build wealth?
I'll say building wealth means growing your financial resources. Not just any money, but increasing your money and multiplying your money for your financial freedom.
Interesting.
So that's what it takes to build wealth.
Interesting. Do you want to say something?
I think she captured it well. I mean, like she just said, I like the word intentional. I use it a lot because I think it captures how things should be done. Being intentional, growing your resources, your financial assets, growing it, keeping it, increasing what you keep at every point and multiplying it as you go on over time.
Okay, so we're talking about building wealth in our prime years. So my question will be, how do we understand our prime years and how do we make wealth in those years?
I'll say your prime years are your productive years. They are between the ages of 30 to 50 because that's when you are most productive.
Okay.
That's when you experience a spike in your salary. That's when you get promotions. That's when you can easily change job just at the snap of your fingers. So your financial prime is often between your 30s and 50s.
Okay.
Because that's the most productive years of your life. Those are the years where your income seems to be at its highest. Those are the years when you start settling. Those are the years when you get good jobs and you can easily change job just at the snap of your fingers and step into something higher. Those are the time you are getting certification, acquiring tools, and so on. So those years of your life, they are very important. And what you do with them will determine whether you will walk into financial freedom or not. So those are not the years to toy with at all if you want to build wealth for the future. So you must be very careful at those seasons of your life. I know somebody may argue and say there are people who started late, maybe in their 60s, and yet they still built wealth. But my question to such a person would be, why would you want to wait till you are 50 or 60 before you build wealth? Why would you not take advantage of your prime? Because your prime period or prime years, they are very essential, they are very important. The yield that your investment will give you in your prime, you cannot compare it to what your investment will give you when you start to build wealth in your 50s or 60s. So that is why you must be very careful. The choices that you make at those years of your life, it will determine how your future will be. Yes, and that is when we say peak earning is equals to peak opportunity. Because those years of your life, they are very vital. That is when you experience a spike in your income. So you have to be very careful at those years of your life. I remember when I was in my prime, you know, I just had my son and my baby was 3 months old. And my husband said to me, go and do your master's. And I was like, I just had a baby. This is the time I want to rest. My husband insisted that you must go for your master's. And I'm happy I did at that time.
Yes.
You know, I would take my son to school with the driver and my helper. I will come out of the classroom, breastfeed my son, and go back. All the lecturers, they were so fond of me. They liked me because they saw the Z in me.
Yes.
And I was happy I did that because that was my prime. And at that place where I did my MBA, I met a gentleman who said to me, you know, he will always refer to me as woman. Woman, what are you doing in that old generation bank? That you shouldn't be there, that you need to move to a new generation bank. And I said to him, let me be done with this certification. And the moment we finished that program, he said, can I have your CV? Because he was already working in a new generation bank. And I went for that interview. I did very well. And I tell you, that was a turning point in my life.
Wow.
So that is why I say your prime years, they are the period you easily change jobs. So you don't joke with it. Now, for you to be able to make your prime years count, there are some things you need to know. You must avoid lifestyle creeps. It's very important. You don't say because you earn more, so you must spend more. You have to be very careful at those stages of your life. That is when you must know what your cash flow is. Know how much you earn, how much you spend. Then you must make sure you have a budget that will guide your spending. That will help you. And avoid emotional and impulse buying. Because those are the things that will distract you at those periods of your life. Then fight the urge to upgrade. I always say this particular conversation is very important for any woman who is between 30, 40, and 50, because don't joke with this season of your life. It's very key. When you see people who have probably retired and you see that they are living peacefully, a lot of them, they took care of their prime years.
Yes, lots of sacrifices involved.
Yes. And that period of your life is so important. Don't upgrade anything. Not when there's a little rise in your salary. That's when you decide that you need to change your car. You need to change your location where you are living. You need to go on vacation. There is time for everything. So you have to be very careful at that season of your life. That season of your life is also when you must learn to be consistent. You start early to save. Be consistent in your saving. It will help you. And at that period of your life, you must learn to diversify. Diversify your investment. Don't put all your investment in one portfolio. You must spread your risk. Every wise person knows that you don't put all your investment in one portfolio. Spread your investment across sectors, across geographies, across, invest in stock, mutual funds, real estate, entrepreneurship. Be careful with your investments and make sure as much as you can, you review your performance on the every 6 to 12 months.
So you know how
so
you're
that
doing.
you know how you are doing. This
True.
is very important.
Hmm.
So people should not play with their prime years, because your prime years is your determining year. I don't know how to explain it better, but I'm stressing it because I know that if you miss that season of your life, before you recover from
take you
setback
long.
or market dips, it will take you time.
And some might never recover.
Some
from
might
it.
never recover. I also say this because in my prime, I invested in stock and I lost money. I felt bad, but I was happy because I still had years ahead of me to work, to be able to
make up
recoup.
for it,
So that is why you cannot compare your investments in your prime to that in your later years.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll say on that.
Okay. Ngozi, do you have anything to say?
Well, I think she's captured most of it. Investing in your prime, knowing that it is now. For peradventure, somebody is listening and you're already 50 and you've not been doing that. I think you shouldn't be deterred as well. Now could still be your time. It's better to start late than saying it's too late to start, because you don't even know how long you're going to live. If you don't start now and you happen to live up to 100, what happens? What are you going to fall back on for the next 50 years? And like she said, that is when you earn more. And it's not just about earning, it's also about what am I keeping? What am I saving? And this my savings, how am I going to multiply it? You understand? That is what building wealth is all about. And why are you doing that? Because you want financial freedom. That time when you will be weak, that time when you're not ready to run around, even if you are, you won't even be able to run around as much anymore. If you invest in mutual funds, for example, for 10 years, and somebody else invests in the same fund for 25 years, obviously, the person that has invested for 25 years is going to cash up much bigger than you. So the earlier you start, so it's easier when you're young, actually. She talked a lot about lifestyle inflation. Because you get a paycheck, you move from
it's time to upgrade.
You move from Sulere to Banana Island straight away. Then you start paying all the expenses, and you find out that you are even struggling with all you are earning. I hear of people who buy those range, and at the end of the day, they can't even buy fuel to put in the range. Meanwhile, that money, if you had invested it, how much yield you get every year from it.
Interesting. So while she was talking, she talked about salary upgrade, which you also mentioned. So my question is, for some individuals, they are asking, how then do I've not gotten a promotion, but how then do I ask my employer about a raise in my salary? You talked about that's the year, or those are the years that promotions come. But if for someone who's watching us right now, the person hasn't gotten a raise, they are still within that range, how then do they ask? How then do they make that move, knowing that this is my prime years and this is the time for me to ask for a raise?
Okay. What I would say on that is that strategic salary negotiation is not greed, it's not arrogance. Is being strategic. And if you are a young person, you must know how to negotiate strategically. If you are going for salary negotiation, for you to be strategic, you must know what people in your role, your level and industry are earning. You must do your homework, your research properly. You don't go into negotiating salary with emotion. You go fully armed with data. So you walk into that conversation armed with your data and speak with boldness, speak with confidence, and speak with power. You don't go there and be apologizing. But like I said, for you to speak with boldness and negotiate strategically, you must have done your research very well. It's very important to do your research. Then another thing is to prepare your value narrative. You don't go into negotiating salary without knowing your value narrative. You must be able to frame your value narrative around impact, initiative, and growth. So what you are telling your employer is that you know your worth. So on impact, you must be able to say how you helped save from how you helped the company, move from X to Y. On initiative, you must be able to say how you led projects that save the company XYZ amount. Let's say 50,000 US dollar, for instance. And on growth, what they want to hear is for you to state how you upskilled in areas that are tied to team performance.
Yes.
Those are the things the people want to hear. So you must be strategic. You must prepare yourself very well before you go for salary negotiation. That is very key. Then know the right time to negotiate. You don't go negotiating for salary during company-wide layoff. You don't negotiate for salary maybe when you have just received an offer letter. The right time to negotiate is when you have just be given before you accept your offer, when you are taking up a new role or responsibility, when your role or responsibility expands, during performance review, when there's a big win, or it could be maybe you have finished a successful project. Those are the right time to negotiate. You don't go when the company is having challenges to negotiate salary. Then, apart from that, you must negotiate the entire package. When you go for salary negotiation, don't be fixed on salary. There are areas to negotiate. If you are a young person and you are watching this program, please listen to this. When your employer says, I cannot move on salary, you must ask your employer which area of this compensation package are negotiable. Negotiate bonuses, negotiate stock and equity, equity and stock options, negotiate your retirement benefits, negotiate your flex time or work option. Those are areas you can negotiate. So don't just go and be fixed on salary. There are other areas that you can negotiate. And above all, make sure that you upskill. It's very important. At every point of your life, get certification. Go for leadership training. Speak up at meetings. Don't go there and keep quiet. Speak up at high-stake conversation or discussion. So generally, by so doing, I think you are good. That's what I'll say on that.
Well said. Build yourself up so that you can get what you want at the table.
Okay. So, Madam Ngozi, how then do you advise individuals to invest? Now, talking about smart investing, because for some of them, it's the salary way, which she mentioned. But in terms of investment, how then do they go about it? Because someone is listening to us and that individual is a salary earner, and the person is asking, how then do I invest in other ways? Because she's talked about, mentioned so many things. But how then do they invest?
Okay. For a salary earner, your money comes in every month. So at least you're sure you're earning every month. As far as there's money coming in, you should always be able to. We've talked about living below your earnings. You don't eat up everything. You don't spend everything. So you begin to take out a percentage. And like we said, saving should be consistent. You begin to save. By the time you have this money saved up, you start investing this money so that this money can begin to earn as well. So you start growing your money. And there are so many things to invest in. You can decide to invest in the money market. The mutual funds are usually the easiest one can start with, because no matter how small your earnings are, with as low as 5,000, you can key into the mutual market, mutual funds, the money market. Then you must also think of diversifying your income. If you're just earning salary, that might not be enough, because we are talking about building wealth. Look at your income like a table. A table that is resting on just one leg, which is an income, is a very unstable table.
Very.
Any small thing happens, that table will give way. So you have to look how to diversify your income. So look at your income as like 4 tables, earn from 4 different areas of your life. You could have a side business or a side hustle, like they call it here. You go to work, but there are some other things people approach you to help them with. For example, your friends come to you for makeup because you're very good with it. You can start a weekend makeup business. Weekends are for weddings, so you can take advantage of that. People come to you to help them review their projects, so you can also begin to earn from things like that, consultation, and so many things. Then you could also earn digitally if you can make ebooks. Some of us have a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, and we are not tapping into it. Do you know what it means to have a book online and on Amazon, and it means you're earning in foreign exchange every day? The simple things you do, even for those who cook. Do you know they make ebooks on menus and so many things, and they put it out there, and they are earning every day. And you know that when we talk about building wealth, we're talking about you even making money
while you sleep.
While you're sleeping. So if digital assets is one. We've talked about keying into the money market. Mutual funds is another. Then there are also other investment opportunities. Of course, I know that people can also decide to go into trading. You can work and still trade. A lot of people are trading online. When I mean trade, I mean even selling commodities, selling things, selling shoes, selling bags. A lot of young ladies, holidays, they don't just sit back. They go into the market, they find out products, they put this thing online, and their friends buy from them. That way, they're able to have, more inflow. So the more money you get, then the more you can build your portfolio. You have more money to invest. So you don't just earn, and because you started earning more doesn't mean you should start eating more. Because the reason why you want to earn more is because you now want to build a portfolio. You want to build your wealth, so you're able to invest more.
All right. So we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation on building wealth. Don't go away.
Do you feel terrified when speaking before a group? Are you stressed when asked to present? Do you bore people when speaking? Are you stuck with reading word for word? How do you give a speech with polish? Learn how at the School of Eloquence,
the home of public speaking. Attend our practical coaching in public speaking. Call 0802 303 2066 or log on to schoolofeloquence.org.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
All right, so welcome back. We're still talking about building wealth. We were talking about smart investment, making money while you rest. And Madam Ngozi says so many things on that. I know Madam Esther has some things to say.
Ngozi has spoken so well on it. But just to add
to what she has said.
Things to what she has said. You see, investing smartly is ensuring that your money works for you while you sleep. And it's very important for you to understand that your money must appreciate in terms of dividend and also in a compounding way, because that's when you unlock the powers to work less, stress less, and live more. So that's why it's important to understand that you need to invest smartly. And the way to do that, or some of the ways you can do that, is to start early and be consistent. Is we talked about that before, but just re-emphasizing that again. You must start early and you must be consistent, and you must think ownership over consumption is very important. Think long term over short term. Yes, and think consistency over complexity. These are the ways you can help guide, how you invest your money smartly. And most importantly, it is good for you to ensure that you abide the habit of saving automatically. I said it in one of our episodes where we talked about money smart, hustle strong. If you are somebody who is not disciplined, it's good for you to learn to invest your money automatically by setting up an automatic savings account where the system would credit you at the end of a particular month. Maybe you specify the time, when your salary comes in, and you give a standing instruction that on so and so day, sweep the sum of XYZ into a designated account. And you have to be disciplined. Don't go there and start withdrawing. And if you know that you are the type who would, be tempted to go there and make withdrawal, put a lien on that account. So that will help, discipline you and guide your savings. So that's very important. And what that also automatic saving does is that it removes it removes pressure from making that decision to save from you, and it makes your wealth building process bulletproof.
Consistent.
Yes, so that's what that automatic saving does. And you try and build emergency fund. I've said it before, emergency fund is important. Build it for 3 to 6 months to take care of your living expenses, so that in case there is a job loss or maybe salary drop in income, at least everybody around you don't know that you have a problem. You'll be able to cope before you pick up again. So that's why that emergency fund is very important. Then, as much as you can, try to have various income streams. It's very important for you to do that. Ngozi talked extensively on that. You can earn income in so many ways. You can do side hustle, freelance lancing. Then you can earn income through entrepreneurship, real estate,
digital opportunities.
Yes, digital opportunities are there. People are creating content and making money. Some are running courses online. Affiliate marketing is there. So there are so many ways. Take advantage of all that. So that way you will be investing smartly. And don't forget, like I keep saying, review progress every 6 to 12 months. Review what you are doing and know when to make necessary adjustments. So with all this and what Ngozi has said, I believe you'll be able to invest smartly.
All right. So one final word for the woman out there talking about smart investing, talking about building wealth. Let's go with you.
Okay. For the woman out there, I would say, if you've not started, please start now. No matter what age it is, just assume it's still your prime.
Yes.
Little saving is better than no savings at all. And really, to everyone, especially we women, it takes discipline. You must be disciplined. You must have made up your mind where you want to end, how you want to end. You don't want to end in penury. You don't want to be waiting for, what do you call it, handouts when you are in your weakest stage of life. You should have built over time, so you have something to fall back on. So you start now.
All right. Start now. What about you?
I'll say be consistent. Start early.
Be consistent. Start now. Start early. What an empowering conversation this has been. Wealth isn't built by chance. It is built by choice, by consistency, and by courage. Your prime earning years are your most powerful years. The time to make smart decisions, develop multiple streams of income, and invest not just in assets, but in yourself. To every woman watching, remember, financial freedom is not about having it all. It's about having enough to live on your terms, give generously, and sleep peacefully, knowing you have built wisely. A heartfelt thank you to my amazing co-hosts Esther Evbodaghe and Ngozi Ochuba for sharing their valuable insights today. Remember to follow us on all our platforms at Achievement Channel on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for more inspiring content and updates. Don't forget to use our hashtag #WeSeePossibilities and share your thoughts with us.
Is Usayo Awoyebi. I'm an investment banker. Keep watching Achievement Channel.
My name is Mrs. Chinere Akabusi. I am CEO of the GSA Program. Keep watching Achievement Channel. It's a motivational channel. Thank you.
Solomon Oye said is my name. I'm the company secretary of Zikis Allied Industries PLC. Keep watching Achievement Channel. God bless you.